Hello everyone, it's Mrs. P. I am here to do my monthly budget for June. I cannot believe that we are already planning the halfway mark of this year. 2024 is just flying by. I've always heard that, time flies when you're having fun, so I guess we're having tons of fun. If you are new to my channel, I am a budgeter. I have always budgeted, but I just recently started this channel and doing things kind of more in a routine way. I kind of follow the Budget Mom, the way she does things, and kind of intertwine some other, budgeters that I've watched and just kind of do it like that. My family, I have 3 children. 2 are not in the home anymore. They're adulting, and but we still have one middle schooler. She's getting ready to go into high school, kid at home, and so it's just me, my husband, and my daughter, and our dogs and a cat, and we are on a debt-free journey. We have been doing this, actually, this is our year 2 of really being serious about paying off debt. We've made a lot of progress, but we still have a long ways to go. So if you are wanting to stick around and see what this channel's about, then I welcome everyone. All right, so to start off, how I do my budget is I always do a monthly overview. And that's just so I can do a quick glance and see, what bills come out. My husband gets paid weekly. I get paid once a month. Although I'm a teacher, I don't get paid in the summer. So May is my last regular paycheck, which May pays June's bills. So for the month of July and August, I have been saving money, and I've got that in our high yield savings account to help cover our expenses for the summer. I am working summer school, but it's kind of up in the air about when we will get paid for that. So I am not putting it into the budget yet because I don't know when I'll get paid. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in. Try not to talk too fast. Life has been lifing. I have been dealing with like this acid reflux. I guess that's what it is. I've been taking some antacid medicines, like just over-the-counter medicines, and I am still struggling. Just the thoughts of food just makes my throat burn. So anyway, I kind of got sick to my stomach last night. I really wanted this video to come up on Tuesday, but it is Tuesday night and I'm filming it now. I'm still not feeling 100%, but I've still got to carry on. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight the weeks that the paychecks cover. Our June budget actually will start on May 30th. So I am going to just highlight from Thursday to Wednesday. That's how we budget for the week, from Thursday to Wednesday. My husband's checks hits the bank on Thursdays. I technically get paid on the last day of the month, but every now and then it'll come in a day early. But anyway, we have some heavy bills come out the very beginning of the month. All right, so that is the first week. I'm gonna go ahead and just highlight everything so it's ready. The second week will be from the 6th through the 12th. Okay. Then we have the 13th through the 19th. And off to the side, I kind of have like a draft version. Has got, like mess up some boo-boos all over it. So I like to do a draft first, and then I do my actual budget that, has all the kinks worked out of it. And this month, the way everything falls, if you notice, I'm going to stop June's paycheck month bills on the 26th, because on the 27th my husband will get paid and I will pull in the money from the emergency fund, or our high yield savings account, actually, where I've been saving, and so I can like pay myself for July. But I am going to start July's bills and the budget on the 27th. So I'm going to stop here. And that means there's a couple bills that should be June's bills that won't be covered by June's budget, if that makes sense. It will be in July's budget. So there's a couple bills that'll be paid twice in July, and that's just because of the way the numbers fell. And I've done that before. It just is the way it kind of works out. They still get paid. It's just how it falls a little bit different. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first bills that we have, let me find my pen. The first bills that we have are our mortgage, and I'm going to put it on Friday and Saturday, even though I'm not sure if the mortgage, because it comes out on the 1st, I'm not sure if they'll pull it on the Friday. It won't matter because the money will be there to pay it. And we always keep like a buffer in a savings account that's attached to our checking account. So if there's ever any, things that come out, for instance, I've had 2 fraudulent charges in the last year, or this year, 2024, where I've been charged for things that I did not purchase. And so I've had 2 new debit cards, which is very frustrating. And it just seems like the people who do those fraudulent things are getting smarter and smarter, no matter what. All right, so we've got mortgage, truck, Xbox, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Progressive, and I'll go into detail more about these types of bills, what they cover. Ortho, Microsoft, and Assurant. When I do the actual bill breakdown. All right, and then the 5th will be car wash. And so that's all the bills that will come out that first week. And then when my husband gets paid on the 6th, then we'll have a new set of bills that will come out. Live 360. On the 9th, guys, I've got to remember to keep adjusting so that you can still see Mr. P Hobby and iRobot. And then that is all for that week. The middle of the month is where things kind of slow down and we just roll over our money, our pay, so that we can get the first and the last of the month is where we're bill heavy. All right, so then the next week starts and we have on the 18th Geico. Let me move it up. Geico and Apple Music. And on the 20th, we start with a new week, Netflix, Uplift. And on the 22nd, we got several. Max, Power, Internet, Spotify, Hulu. And then over here, we have Peacock, Verizon, and on the 26th we have Google, John Deere, student loan, and Apple storage. And I'm going to go ahead and put the bills that come out on the 27th and 28th just so I know that they're there. But I know that those will be paid with July's income. We have YouTube Premium and Mr. P Hobby. He has 2 things that he pays for monthly that have to do with the hobbies that he has. They're just like subscriptions and things like that. Okay, so that's how I do the monthly overview. And then what I'll do is I'll take this, and this is how I work out my weekly budget. So each week I'll look at this and I'll write down all of our bills, debts, things that have to get paid. And then I also have, sinking funds we save for, and like our cash spending for like groceries and gas and things like that. So things that I keep in my wallet. But this is how I do my overview. All right, so then I'm going to switch over. I've got 2 calendars for some reason. And this is my monthly budget breakdown. And this is where I see all the numbers, the amounts of each of the bills, the income, and then that's where I'll kind of break down and see how much we have left over for debt, like extra debt payments and for our sinking funds. All right, and in the summer, since I'm not getting paid and I'm using, you know, what we've saved throughout the year to cover my income, I am not planning to put as much toward our snowball, but I am still being diligent about, you know, staying in budget and, you know, trying to put some extras there if I can. Now, we do have, you know, a trip planned this summer. Me and my daughter are going to go visit my son in Washington State, which is clear across the country. I wish it was driving distance, but it's not, so we'll have to fly. And then, let's see here, we have birthdays. The summer is full of all of my kids were born in the summer. My husband and I, our anniversaries in the summer. Our birthdays are in the summer. So it's just a very expensive time of year. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in just a little bit so that hopefully you can see. And I'm going to get started. So this is going to be for June 2024. I hope that's zoomed in enough. Okay, so we've got Mr. P. That's his income for the whole month. We expect around $4,000. Now, usually he gets overtime in the summer, so that's, I think, the lowest amount to plan for, and hopefully the actual amount will be much higher. Mrs. P. Now, my paycheck does not change, although I don't know if I'm going to get my summer school money in June or July or when it will come. It's just the school system is very weird about how their pay cycles are. And then other, I'm going to say 600 because my boys are still on our phone plan, so they pay their payments for the phone. My middle son, he is on our car insurance, and we cover his renter's insurance, and then he just pays us back for that. My mom and my father-in-law are both on our phone plans, and then they pay that portion of theirs too. So we have just little things like that that count into other. And this could be any like side hustles, extra jobs my husband has or whatever. So anyway, this brings our income to $7,715. And so that is what we're working with for the month of June. Okay. So we will start first. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way. All right, so we start with our mortgage. And we will have $1,115 for June. Now in July, our mortgage will go up $25 because, as you know, insurance rates, tax rates, all those things have increased. I was happy it just went up $25 because I know a lot of other people have had much higher increases in their mortgages. So I'm not going to complain too much. Progressive is our car insurance. We have 3 vehicles on it. My son pays his portion. His portion's around $110, I think. And then my father-in-law is also on our plan, and me and my husband. We pay for my father-in-law's portion of the insurance because it's not really that much. He and my husband share a truck. My husband bought my father-in-law's truck, but then my father-in-law keeps the truck at his house, if that makes any sense. All right, then we've got Microsoft. I've had some people say, you know, this expense is kind of unnecessary when you're on a debt-free journey, but I am not so gazelle intense on our debt-free journey that we stop, you know, having some kind of fun in our lives. And Microsoft is the account that my daughter uses to play Xbox, and that is how she keeps close with her brothers. Both of them live a long distance away. Well, one's a couple hours away, and then one's clear across the country, and they play at night together, and that relationship I don't want to, you know, mess up, so I pay that happily. Assurant is my son's renter's insurance, and he does pay for that. We just have it come out of our account. Car wash, this is probably about the only thing that I pay extra for myself, and we live in the country, we live on a dirt road, and so it is nice to be able to keep a clean car, and so it is well worth. That covers unlimited washes, and you know, sometimes I get 2 or 3 a week. All right, Life 360. I do pay for the premium version. It is worth it to me just to make sure everybody's safe and sound and we can keep up with everybody. iRobot. This is a subscription, and I'm not sure exactly how it works. We purchased the robot vacuum. This is some kind of like maintenance to cover like the brushes and the rollers and all the things we have. Well, we have one dog. We had one of our dogs passed away a few months ago, and then we have my son's dog who will be coming in August to get her and take her back to Washington with him, but they both shed. And so we are constantly having to do upkeep on the iRobot because of the dog hair. And if you know, you know. Okay, so Geico is insurance that my husband has on the Gator and the lawnmower that he has. Apple Music, my husband's subscription. He does like DJ work and music work on the side, and so he needs Apple Music to do that. That's like his side gig. Netflix would be $17. Power and internet. We have not got our power bill for June, but we've been using the air quite a bit, so I'm going to estimate around $280. Hopefully I'm not shocked and it be much more than that. Our internet's probably around $60-ish. We do pay about $14 for an outdoor light, and then the rest is the power and all the fees and stuff that go along with that. Spotify, this is an app that my daughter uses. I am going to look into, somebody said that you can switch Spotify and keep your playlist and have it switched over to Apple Music, and maybe we could do the family plan with Apple Music and get rid of Spotify. But like, she's attached to this. She's had this for so many years that like I don't know, that playlist is something she does want to get rid of. Okay, so Hulu is $5. Actually, I think Hulu actually went down because we dropped something off of the subscription, but I'm going to leave it at $5, but I think it's actually $4. But since it's just $1, I'm not going to change the numbers for that. Max, $11. Peacock. And yes, we have several subscriptions for TV, but we share these with my father-in-law. My father-in-law is a widow. He's like walking distance to our house, and TV keeps him from getting too lonely. And so, yeah. And I feel like, you know, I've seen a lot of people's budgets, and I feel like ours is not too unreasonable. We have Netflix, $17, Hulu, Max, and Peacock. And together, it's still right under $30-ish. So it's not too bad for TV. All right, cell phones. Now, our cell phone bill has gone up because my son upgraded his phone and got a watch, but he is still paying the extra portion, which is why our income changed with the other. All right, Google, $3. Apple storage, it's $10. Mr. P Hobbies, keep making sure that I'm still in frame. Typically this is $110, but like I said, part of it's going to be paid in July, and we'll pay it twice, so it's just going to be $61 instead of $110 this month. And YouTube Premium is not going to be paid with this month's bills because just the way it fell. All right, so our bills come up to $2,401. Okay. So then, typically when I'm doing this budget, let me zoom out just a bit so I can explain. I do the bill section first, then I move over to the debt section, and then I move to the variable section. because I've got to keep the income and the expenses equal, if not less, right? You want the expenses less than the income. So before I decide any money going to sinking funds or savings or anything like that, I'm going to pay the necessities first. First is our bills, then our debt, and then our variable expenses. Now, of course, you've got to eat and you've got to have gas, but those things are variable. So if we have to cut corners, the grocery bill can definitely come down. I have always been kind of a frugal shopper anyway, so a lot of our things that we buy, we don't have to have. We don't have to have them to, you know, stay fed. So anyway, that's how I do things. All right, so with that said, I've already figured all that out. So I already have all the numbers worked out. So I already know what I can spend on sinking funds, savings challenges, which go towards sinking funds. And we have a little bit extra to add to our month ahead, which is the summer savings. All right, so for sinking funds, and it is higher because we have lots of birthdays and things. So it's $1,280. And I will break that down and let you see what, you know, each category is getting. Savings challenges, which really goes to more long-term sinking funds, is going to be $232. And then month ahead, which I need to call it something different, and I will do that next year, is really our savings that I put towards my what I pay myself over the summer, since I don't get an actual paycheck. And it's just going to be $300. So this section adds up to be $1,812. All right. So then variable expenses, I'll zoom in a little bit more. We've got groceries, and we've been doing really good keeping it around $600 a month, which is $150 a week. We usually have just a little bit of leftover, and I add that into like our Sam's Club envelope, and that's so that we can stock up and have like meat in the freezer for, you know, so that I don't have to buy it at the grocery store every week. All right, pets. We spend about $80 a month on the pets. Household, about $80. That covers like shampoo and toilet paper and all the things for the house. If I need, you know, utensil for the kitchen or something like that, that comes from household. Mr. P is $120. This is his spending money. I did lower it a little bit, but not too much. Mrs. P is me, and I get more than he does only because he has all those hobbies that he pays for, and I get $230. Miss P, our daughter, she gets an allowance, and it's $20 a week, so that's $80. Eating out, we have anniversary, we have birthdays, we have all kinds of stuff going on. I'm going to budget $100, and the rest of it, if we have to spend extra, it will come from either our spending, our blow money, or from like if we have extra income to cover those expenses. Because it's kind of unrealistic to think that you could eat out, even just a family of 3, more than one time a month for less than $100. It's just, things are just so expensive. But we don't eat out too much. All right, gas, I'm going to say $240. I was going to lower it for the summer, but since I am working summer school, I'm going to be going back and forth to work, and my daughter will start cheer practice in June, so that's going to be at night, so I'll probably have to come home and get her and take her back to practice, so I just want to make sure I have enough in gas. Miscellaneous is a new one. Miscellaneous is going to be $10 in my wallet each week to cover any extras, like if we want to leave a tip, pay for something, give something at work, whatever extra comes along, because it's going to. It just always does. And then unbudgeted, that hopefully will not have anything unbudgeted come out, but you know, life is just one of those things, just you can't always predict everything that's going to happen in the week. You know, things come up, and you know, as much as I want to be perfect and keep a perfect budget, I'm realistic enough to know that there's going to be times that I'm going to spend money that I don't have budgeted. All right, so now we get to the debt. All right, so ortho is my daughter's braces. I used to keep this as a bill, and then somebody pointed out that it's actually a debt, even though it's medical. It won't always be there. We'll eventually pay it off, so it's not technically a bill. Wells Fargo. This is a 0% interest card that we did a balance transfer. These will be our next snowball accounts or payments that we start paying off once we get through some of the other stuff that we're doing. Citibank is also a balance transfer card. It's 0% right now. We've got to get them paid off though before that interest gets added back on. Xbox, this is my husband's. He bought the Xbox and did like a payment plan. It's 0% interest and it's very close. It should be paid off in, I think, September or October. And since it's 0% interest, I'm just going to pay it off with the terms that it came with. Uplift is the same thing. It's the loan that we got, or the payment plan we did for our cruise that we took in April. From now on, I will try to budget for vacation instead of doing something like this, even though it was 0% interest and we paid for it just like we'd save up for a vacation. I just feel better about prepaying something rather than getting a loan. All right, then the truck, this has interest on it. Very little, but it's still interest. John Deere. This is my husband's Gator and lawnmower. It's almost paid off. It'll be paid off in December. And it is a 0% interest loan. Student loan. Ugh. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. $500, I guess I should be happy with that payment. And then snowball, and we don't usually figure out the snowball until we've calculated everything. But I have already done that, so I'm anticipating putting $179 towards snowball this month. So this section will add up to be $1,932 if everything goes perfectly. All right. Hopefully we'll be able to put more towards the snowball. All right, so this is the section that we just kind of like, words elude me sometimes when I'm doing these videos. I still can't even think of it. Anyway, this is where I put all of the numbers in one little place. All right, so the bill total was $2,401. This was our income. So these are our expenses. And we don't do a weekly zero budget, but we do a monthly zero-based budget. All right, so variable expenses is $1,570. Savings is $1,812. Debt total is $1,932. And if I add these up, I get $7,715, leaving us $0 to roll over to July. All right, and that is how I do the monthly budget. Okay, I'm looking at how long my video is, and it's pretty long. And I was gonna go ahead and do like our sinking fund plan, just so you could see kind of where we allocate money for the sinking funds. I always feel like I have to justify what we spend to the world, the internet world. But, you know, people have brought it to my attention that it's not necessary to explain those things to everybody, that it's my budget, my money, you know, I do what I want kind of thing. But, I don't know. I'm a people pleaser, and I always know that there's room for improvement. And so if anybody has suggestions, I am always open to listening to their advice and suggestions, because I've learned a lot from people commenting and thinking of things that I hadn't thought about. So please share your thoughts and opinions. It's not going to hurt my feelings too much. Okay, so this is where we just kind of allocate all of our spending. So groceries is $600, which we already kind of know that. Pets is $80. This is my cash for my wallet. Household $80. Mr. P $120. Mrs. P $230. Miss P $80. Eating out $100. Gas $240. And $40 for miscellaneous. So this section is the same as in my budget for $1,570. All right, so these expenses are more short term, like, you know, we get in this not wallet, but binder more often than the others, except for my wallet, of course. Beauty, I'm going to put $100 toward that. We haven't stuffed date night in a long time, and if we have done a few things, we do have an anniversary coming up, but we have a gift card for a restaurant that I've been saving since Christmas, and we will use that for our anniversary. All right, family fun, I'm going to say 100. It is summer, and you know, the ice cream store's open, you know, things like that, and I want to just make sure we have money to do things with our daughter. Medical is 80. Sam's, I use leftover grocery money for that. Vet, 40. Pool supplies, 40. That's for the chemicals and things for the pool. Car maintenance. I'm probably not zoomed in enough. Car maintenance, I'm going to say 40. Oop, clothing. I need to start funding clothing again. Car maintenance is 40 and home maintenance is 40. All right, so this section is that is not correct. 440. I looked at the wrong numbers. All right, so this section is 440. Then I go over here. These are more long-term. Garbage we pay quarterly, and it's $45 every 3 months, so $15 a month. Subscriptions, that's going to be due in March, is we put $35 aside. School supplies, I do the mini challenges for that. Gifts, I'm going to say 100. Sports, we do mini challenges for. Car tags, I'm going to say 40. Vacation, I know I'm on a debt-free journey, but yes, we are still going to live life and enjoy the little things. Home projects, we are, you know, still trying to do maintenance to the house and things, little things like that, so 150. Taxes, I will fund this if I get any money, like YouTube money or Etsy money, then I will do that as it comes in. But for right now, I think we've got our withholdings adjusted enough to where we don't have to hold out any extra. Hopefully we will break even with taxes next year. An emergency fund is going to be 150, and that's to build back the emergency fund from 2023 taxes, which we didn't have enough money for. All right, so Christmas, I'm going to say 200. Oops, I didn't have this total. This section is 640. Christmas, of course, that's 200. The other holidays, I use the mini challenges to stuff those, which is right here, 232. And then month ahead, I'm only allocating $300 to that because I consider it fully funded after this last 300. And then I will call it something different next year when I start saving for the summer of 2025. All right, so this one is 532. And the total money in like variable expenses, sinking funds, savings, all the things is $3,382, which seems like a big number, and it scares me to see that number, but you know, with groceries and gas and all the things, you know, things are just expensive. Now we have a lot of things saved up, and we have cash, you know, in our high yield savings account. Like once these envelopes get pretty full, especially over here, then we move that money over. But anyway, so that is that. That is my monthly budget. I appreciate you guys watching and hanging out. If you've made it this long, bless you for staying, because sometimes my videos can get a little bit crazy. I don't know why when the camera turns on, my mind goes to mush. All right, so if you are new here, one of my very first cash stuffing videos, I accidentally dropped a nickel in the candle, which this is like my third candle, I think, since then, maybe fourth. Anyway, the nickel became quite a icon of this channel, and one of my subscribers named him Nick, and so every time the candle burns down and I need to get a new candle, we just transfer the nickel into the new candle. And so I am going to blow the candle out and say goodbye. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.